Any listeners and viewers within the Federation, the wider Caribbean, and in the various time zones around the world, with special praise going out to our people, our friends and family, brothers and sisters in Haiti at this time of the struggle. Before we get into the program, we're going to pause for and give respect to our sponsors, and then we get back with the show. So welcome to Voices. See you on the other side.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win 30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade for 30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind.
You're always safe with us.
Your computer or phone is your Flow cashier. Thanks to Fast Pay on our website. It's a quick and easy way to pay your bills anytime, on any device. No need to register. Simply select the bill to be paid, enter your account number or mobile number, and the amount you wish to pay, plus where to email the receipt. Then, make the credit card payment. It's that easy. Fast Pay for Flow bill payments at discoverflow.co.
Once again, good morning and welcome to Voices. I want to first apologize for last week when we couldn't hear the program because there were some technical challenges at my end because we were supposed to be broadcasting from a little studio in Sandy Point, and because all thumbs, we didn't get on air. So we apologize to all the folks who would have missed the program. And of course, the Monday before, we were airing the matter in Parliament. Now, Chris Collins has let me know by text that the lockdown has done me well. Boy, you sound fresh. I want to say good morning to Chris up there and all the folks in, a circle, Doctor. Okay, I'm going to get to that list later on, but welcome once again to Voices. And today we have a variety of things to discuss. We heard the Minister of Tourism speaking about what may happen when the port opens, when the ship arrives, and what challenges will be facing us. That's one topic. We want to talk about the food voucher of $200 that was given to persons to assist them in this time of challenges, and of the two major supermarkets that came aboard. But before we get too much into that, I've been told by some consumers we need to speak about the price gouging that's ongoing in the supermarkets. You'll find many consumers have been complaining about the shopping experience, where not that the price of a food item today is one thing, and then 2 days after it's increasing. They're asking for price control, whereas the consumer control people. I know for a fact that I've been affected by it personally because I buy bread. I'm not supposed to. But I would buy what I thought was the $7 bread. It's actually the size of the $5 bread. So even the bakeries and other entities are taking advantage of this time of shutdown, and people go into panic buying. But it's really unfair because I know some time ago when we first had the first major lockdown, arrangements were made to give tax concessions to the merchants, and they were supposed to pass it on to the consumer. There were questions then about how it was not properly managed and people would go and have the same experience now as they had back then. The cost of food items keep going up, going up, going up. And there's been a big complaint. I was in a shopping line some weeks ago, and a lady said, well, Socrates, look at this. I was here 2 days ago, I paid for this, and look at the price now. So I don't know if the relevant authorities are listening and if there's anything they can do, but the consumer out there is not too happy with the various shopping sites that they go to. I'm not going to name any, but it's happening, and people need answers when it comes to that. Now, my friend in Montserrat, I have a challenge for you. I've been trying to reach the bear. The bear is the Calypsonian multi-crown monarch, Calypso monarch of Antigua and Barbuda. I'm told he's gone back to Montserrat, but we're trying to reach him because there is what's called the Caribbean Calypso Community. And this is spearheaded by Errol Fabia and other Trinidad, Kurt, Allen, Tigress, RPB, that's Real Plastic Bag from Barbados, Hunter, etc., Calypsonians around the region. And there are 5 teams. There's teams Legends from St. Kitts. I've been appointed the lead of St. Kitts team. Other persons from other territories. And they're trying to get a virtual competition going for the 26th of September. So we're trying to find our team members. So if anyone in Montserrat, I know my friend is over there, can assist me with getting the contact numbers for the beer. If you want to share my number with him, it's 662. Of course, the area code is 869-662. 4690. And I'll be happy if you get in touch because we have to get this thing sorted as soon as possible. I'll be able to speak more of this later on if you get sponsors for this particular program. But of course, Voices is a platform of social discourse where the public are asked to weigh in on any topic, as long as it leads to the a good dialogue about the social upliftment of the country. The numbers to call if you wish to weigh in are, when I find them, 662. Okay, there's also 466. That's for the landline. Then there's 762-0989, 718-265-6948, 508-921-4619, and then from the UK we've got 0333-044-0065. Back to the fan base, we have Brenda up there in Charlotte, and she normally sends me some information as to what's happening with the tourism industry. She's one of the more, I would say, popular travel agents that visit St. Kitts. There's Chris, there's Amber over there in Anguilla, there's Peter Inganjuri at the Development Bank, and a host of others I'm going to say hello to in the meantime. Okay? We're also observing the hurricane season. The downtown Bastille is a bit overcast. There's been no rain, but of course we're observing the fact that we're in the hurricane season as of June 1st, and people are mindful to make whatever preparations that will serve our best interest should we be faced with a major disaster. So topics today. Now, the Minister of Tourism made some comments, he made some remarks in answering a question as to what's going to happen at Port Zante when and should the ships return, against the backdrop of what's happening with the Florida Cruise Association, where they're saying that they are not demanding that passengers be vaccinated. And when they come here, what we're going to do. I think he said there has been dialogue with the other stakeholders in the region as to their response. He spoke about the tours being in a sort of bubble format that is to be anticipated. But I'd asked last week, I think, for the engineers to pull up a song by Charles called Sea, Water and Sand. It was played, but we didn't get into the program. But that song spoke about the Caribbean and how they look at others in the region based on the resources we have or don't have, and boasting about, we have the LCDs and the more developed countries competing against each other. It's all perception because, as Charter said, we are all seawater and sand. And the message was driven home with the fact in the face of what COVID has done to the region, we are all selling the same thing, seawater and sand. And it's unfortunate, but I think we would have had an opportunity, when I say we collectively in the region, to look, rethink, and reset. Because in everything there's an opportunity to learn as to how do we avoid such things happening in the future. We've suffered from natural disasters. This is a pandemic on a global stage, of course, scale. But we in the region, because most of us are dependent on the same, share the same bread basket, dependent on the same source markets, we have a problem. So it was heartening to hear the minister say that there is to be a collective response to what the governor of Florida is stating, that he's not going to insist that anyone sailing from the Florida destination to the region be vaccinated. And we know we have a whole lot to protect, not only in St. Kitts, but throughout the region, because that travel, that brings in income to the country, we have to wait against the health of the nation, our region, etc. I'm getting feedback from Mr. Inganjuri, just saying, "Good morning, King. Thank you for acknowledging me. I take this opportunity to inform you that I am okay." I'll deal with that later on, but he's on board. And it's now 50 minutes past the hour. I think it's time for another word from the sponsors. What do you think, Sharon? Okay, caught your card flat for them, my bad. Once again,
Your computer or phone is your Flow cashier. Thanks to Fast Pay on our website, it's a quick and easy way to pay your bills anytime on any device. No need to register. Simply select the bill to be paid, enter your account number or mobile number, and the amount you wish to pay, plus where to email the receipt. Then, make the credit card payment. It's that easy. Fast Pay for Flow bill payments at discoverflow.co.
When the star them there, we are top man, we take charge. Have no reaching now, we are shell down hard. Blast like a star in some Galapagos. Over no wish we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man them. Wine with the style, no stop from spend. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine, the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must to be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Outfit for my girl's wedding? Click. With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free US mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to £10. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
Once again, welcome back to Voices. Let me read in the meantime, because the phone lines are dead, an article that may bring some sense of relief to our people here who work in the tourism industry. It says Carnival Cruise Line added insurance requirements to the Florida departures. Carnival Cruise Line updates its protocols with a travel insurance requirement for unvaccinated guests on departing from Florida from July 31st, 2021. Bringing the company in line with Royal Caribbean Carnival Cruise Lines now has amended its travel requirements to include insurance for guests that have not been vaccinated. Although the cruise line has managed that all passengers, so that should have been mandated, all passengers are vaccinated fully, there are instances where someone who has not been vaccinated can still sail. So is Carnival making insurance a requirement? The cruise line has updated its protocols page, which now includes a travel insurance requirement for unvaccinated guests who are sailing. The cruise is following the CDC's guidelines, and a small number of unvaccinated passengers can request a cruise if they are ineligible for the vaccine. This means that if there are 1,000 guests on board, 50 could be vaccinated. Should an outbreak occur, the cruise line ensures that all bases are covered in terms of quarantine, possible hospitalization, or even medical evacuation. However, the measure is not set to come into effect until July 31st, giving guests scheduled to sail more than enough time to prepare and purchase insurance. The first sailing impacted by this insurance cover is the maiden voyage of the Mardi Gras on the same date. Guests can choose to purchase insurance from the travel insurance company or through Carnival Vacation Protection. The measure is intended for any adults who have not been vaccinated and teenagers above the age of 12 years of age not eligible for vaccinations. Carnival Cruise Line will be waiving this requirement for children under the age of 12 who are ineligible for vaccine. Royal Caribbean took the step to require insurance as well, starting August 1st. However, in the case of Royal Caribbean, the cruise line is sailing with both vaccinated and unvaccinated guests from Florida, something Carnival is not doing. As well, in the case of Royal Caribbean, the measures are intended mostly to deter guests who have not been vaccinated, something that does not seem to be the case with Carnival. And these are two of the major cruise lines that we depend on, as they already have been vaccinated. Carnival remains strict with vaccine requirements. So that should give us a sense of relief in terms of the measures that the cruise lines are putting in place to ensure or to encourage persons who want to travel to these parts of the world to be vaccinated. The insurance, of course, covers them in case there's any outbreak, etc. We on the ground have to put measures in place to protect the frontline workers, the folks who engage on one-on-one with the guest. We know here in St. Kitts, and I suspect across the region, there are protocols being crafted to ensure that we who have to come in contact with the passengers are safe. Those measures have been tested. It's just for a ship or two to come, and we'll see how that works out. So that's one of the issues that we are eagerly anticipating in terms of what happens when the first cruise line, I think there was a mention about the 21st of this month and later on. And the anticipation is there, but we who work in that industry know that not a lot of work will be there initially. Some of the drivers are concerned that the onshore agents will get the bulk of the work. But of course, we've been in this situation for so long, there has to be some measure where just about everybody can get a bite of the cherry, so to speak. So there is that. There is that. And I'm told there's a call on the line. Caller, welcome to Voices.
Good morning, Socrates. How are you doing?
Not too bad for old man. How are you?
Man, I thought you were in quarantine.
Yes, well, Chris said that the quarantine, the lockdown made me look good. You know, so
Yeah, you use it to your advantage.
we count the blessings, definitely. How have you been?
Oh, giving God thanks, man. I have a lot to be thankful for. I'm just trying to get up and get away from the radio.
Oh,
Now, you see the effort that these ships are making to protect us?
I'm listening.
I said, you just read about the efforts that the cruise ship line
That is
are
correct.
making
That is
to
correct.
protect.
Yes.
Now, why is it so hard for our people to understand that? That they too must be making plans to protect themselves? That is the question, you know.
The why?
Why are we, well, let me deal with the taxi men. Say frontline workers, because it could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Those who have refused to be vaccinated. The cruise ship making all kind of effort to protect them. What are they doing to protect themselves?
It's a good question. But when we get into that, people say you're telling them what to do as their personal choice, which we agree. But when we look at the collective, you can't
That's what
go
I'm
half.
talking about, you know.
All right.
Because it become an issue where like you can't work. So if they're going through all of the hassle on the ship to make sure that they don't bring the virus to the land, why should you be working to put it on the boat?
I see.
So maybe somebody have an answer. All right then.
Thank you for that contribution. The whole thing about this matter in Florida, because the federal government, it was the federal government, or it was Ron DeSantis that took it to court. And the court ruled in his favor that you cannot mandate people be vaccinated. So we are at the receiving end of that potential boatload of passengers, some not vaccinated. We on the ground here know what happened when the spread is in our face. We just came out of a small spread. Look at the size of the population. It takes one person. And so that's a challenge that the Ministry of Tourism is undertaking. And we entertain another call. Caller, good morning. You're live on Voices.
Hello.
Good morning. You're welcome to the program. You're live on Voices.
Yes, good morning, the King. How are you?
Miss your voice, sir. Miss your voice. Welcome to the program.
Yes, the King, I want to throw something out there for our listening audience. I think I mentioned this on a different radio program last week, and I'm going to try it out again today. If not, I think it was an Inside the News, I throw it out. I want to draw your attention to the happenings like the release of Bill Cosby from prison and Jacob Zuma in South Africa, and also the assassination of the Haitian president. Now, in my opinion, I find Bill Cosby release from prison was a distraction, and to some extent, in my opinion, they're calling for Jacob Zuma to go to prison in South Africa also is a distraction. I want our people to pay attention to what is happening, because things are hitting home and we need to be aware of the happenings. I'm not going to say who or what is behind these assassinations, but to each his own interpretation, because once you know the facts and you know the history, you can conclude for yourself. I mean, people are going as far as to say they condemn the assassination of the Haitian president, and I'm talking about people in high places. Presidents and all kind of people are saying, oh, they're going to investigate and they're going to they condemn this behavior. What I want us to be aware of is that everywhere on this planet where black, melanated people are inhabited, they are poor. And what the point I'm trying to bring across to you, the King, is let's take the continent of Africa with all the minerals, Haiti, and we have Guyana and other Caribbean islands that have minerals and resources. I want our people to pay attention because these are the things that have been happening for decades. And I said before, the truth is available now. We need to get involved and pay attention to what is happening. Haiti, an asteroid dropped on Haiti some years, decades ago, and Haiti is poor. You know Haiti was not poor. The continent of Africa has 60% of the world minerals, and the people of Africa are poor. The American government has trucks and bulldozers and all kind of equipment on the island of Haiti, digging up soil.
Under the guise of the UN.
Thank you. Our people are not aware of this. When we hear that the president of Haiti being assassinated, I mean, whether it's about the COVID, well, let's go beyond COVID. COVID is just under a year. Over a year ago. Haiti been in poverty for how long now? And whatever they're doing with those earth that they're digging up in Haiti, we are so unaware of what is happening. All I'm saying now is that this is time for us to wake up, because I said it before and I'm going to say it again. When God created this planet, He placed all these minerals on these continents that He placed His people that He created. I am not saying that He didn't create the white other races as well. But if God wanted us to be poor, He would have never put those minerals. The King, you know of the Berlin Conference.
Yes, I do.
When they slice up the continent and they put borders. That thing is playing out today, where keeping us divided with so many different language and, borders. You look at if you ever look at nature, when you see the wildebeest are crossing for migration, do they need a passport to cross any border in Africa? Why we Africans with 54 states have to have, each state have its own passport?
That is true.
When the animals are crossing, they don't need a passport. You see my point?
But
So
even here in the region,
on the continent of Africa to keep it the way it is, and we need to wake up and call on those who are in authority. The UN and the AU are useless, but we have to find other ways, and we need to strategize. The King, I have thrown out program platforms for our people to get involved, because I said it already, I'm going to say it again. Africa is rising. The Chinese are in Africa right now as the Trojan horse in the room. Africa is rising, but what you're not going to see on CNN and BBC. I threw out platform for those who are interested, and I'm going to repeat it again with your permission. May I?
Certainly.
There is Pan-African Daily TV, Wake Up Africa, Make Africa Great. These are three platforms that anyone who wants to know what is happening, the direction that the continent is going in for progress and to liberate its people. Pan-African Daily TV, all you got to do, just subscribe. You would get the latest updates and the happenings. And it's not just about the progress, because they show you the ills as well. But on some other station, someone responded by saying, well, Africans are killing Africans. Again, that is true, but we have to know who is behind the Africans killing Africans, because I said that the West have satellites over the continent of Africa. And whenever these satellites pinpoint any minerals in the soil, let's say a group of villagers living in a particular area, and these satellites picked up any kind of mineral that is there, They come in the West and they give the lewd Africans guns and ammunition and tell them, go and start a slaughter. And they go. They go because money, and sadly, there are some of us who are weak, but the whole situation in Africa would make people want to kill their own because of what the design that was created by the West. So when they come and they give them guns and say, go and kill a few people, the people scatter, and then they come in and they do the illegal mining. Boko Haram, we all know of Boko Haram. France is behind Boko Haram. I mentioned that on a different radio station, and a gentleman said, I must be careful that they don't come down here and get me. Well, I'm not. For me, it's like, well, what else can they do? What else can they do? But this is the fact that he can tell me that I must be careful. That it clearly shows that he knows what they're capable of doing. They're capable of doing, and so do I. I know what they're capable of doing because they have done it. The Haitian president, the Tanzanian president, and the president of Chad. And they have also taken out some kings as well. Now, the question we should ask ourselves, where have we ever seen at least 6 presidents and kings of black melanated skin color being assassinated in less than 6 months? Yeah. Had that been 2 Caucasian presidents, what would have been happening today? Have we ever seen 6 presidents or 3 presidents being assassinated anywhere on the West? Now here we have, I gave you 3, the Haitian, Tanzanian president, and the president of Chad, all within 6 months. What does that say to us, the king?
Well, some would say it's a coincidence, but the informed would know better. But I think I'm due for a station break, but I want to put up something to you shortly after when I come back. So you may have to listen off the air.
All right.
Thank you for your contribution, though. Appreciate that. Yeah. We pause for word from our sponsors.
Buying your medication is easy with City Drug Store's curbside pickup. WhatsApp our certified pharmacist at 662-8769 with your requests. For prescriptions, take a clear photograph and send for review. We will engage you in dialogue and then provide a quotation and link for payment. You can then pay via TDC's online payment portal. And once the transaction is complete, you'll be notified that your pickup is ready. Yes, it's that easy. Send your WhatsApp message to 662-8769 to order your medications today with City Drug Store's curbside pickup service.
Your computer or phone is your Flow cashier. Thanks to Fast Pay on our website, it's a quick and easy way to pay your bills anytime on any device. No need to register. Simply select the bill to be paid, enter your account number or mobile number and the amount you wish to pay, plus where to email the receipt. Then make the credit card payment. It's that easy. Fast Pay for Flow bill payments at discoverflow.co.
Staying healthy has taken on a whole new meaning these days. So we ask, why do you put your health first?
As a business professional, I need to make the most out of my work days.
I'm a teacher, and I want to be there for my students.
In sports, I have to be in top form for my team.
Motherhood, I just got to keep up with my kids. Because my patients rely on me to be at my best.
Staying healthy is important for many of us, and Halib Orange makes it easy. Just one 1,000 milligram tablet of vitamin C gives your immune system a flavorful boost, leaving you protected and feeling good for the day ahead. Halib Orange Vitamin C. Just pop the cap, drop it in water, let it fizz, and enjoy. Part of the Halib Orange family.
Back with the program. Welcome to Voices, but it appears we have to go straight to the line. So caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Greetings, my brother.
Good day to you, sir.
We said it on another radio station. We have to repeat it on this radio station. moderators around here has been putting the balance and found wanting. We are communicating, and there's millions. You're open by phone, you're open by web, by this, by that. Enough people trying to make their contribution. You cannot allow one person to just go on and on and on. You have to spread out the thing. We have to do that. No matter who it is. It could be Rasili. Yeah. Anyhow, you see at this point in time, few of us of this race, very few of this race is identifying with the continent of Africa. It is sad, but it is the truth. So therefore, you cannot afford to throw pearls at swines. We have to make people back go against the wall some more, that they can feel some more and rise up. Black people who are dispersed, who was taken away, are living too comfortable, are existing too comfortable. So therefore, the struggle have to up more. They have to feel it more, so that they can realize that only in unison as a race we will get there. Thanks for listening. Blessed love.
He's gone. I was going to ask him to, like he's speaking. Well, thank you, Eli, for that contribution. And your point about the callers being on a bit long as well taken. But I wanted to ask about how you're phrasing your comment. It's like we tend to generalize black people in general. Now, the journey back in the 70s, I really appreciate your position and what you're trying to do to reach out to people to sort of educate, inform, and get our people to focus on what really matters or what should matter to us as a race. Back in the 70s, I recall going on stage, well, I was young, but back in the early 70s, okay, I think the call is trying to get back in.
Yes, Socrates?
Yes, Lady Henry, how about that?
Oh, I'm giving God thanks. No, I listened to Johnny,
Mm-hmm.
He is simplifying the matter. From then to now, black people ain't learn anything.
I wouldn't say that.
Give them gun and they capture the people and they send us out here. Now, Chad was nothing, Chad went to war. Isn't that so?
Quite so.
He went to war and nobody assassinated him. The one from Tanzania was sick and he died. The one from Haiti, I don't know the cause. But we have got to learn to hold our black people responsible and stop making an excuse for them. Now, have you heard the Prime Minister in Haiti have asked the U.S. to send in forces?
Time and again.
The Prime Minister in Haiti?
Yes, Claude Joseph.
Has asked the U.S. government,
Mm-hmm.
So while we're out here talking about American occupation, they're begging back for it. They're begging back for it.
Well, he was the same mindset as his predecessor.
I'm telling you. I mean, look at Ethiopia. Nobody talking about it. What's going on in Ethiopia and Eritrea and the one in between? Nobody saying anything. We have got to learn to hold our black leaders responsible. Even down in South Africa, you're going to soon hear how they're persecuting.
Zuma?
The former president of South Africa.
Jacob Zuma.
Zuma.
Yes.
I mean, we got to learn to hold our people. Even here in the country, in the Caribbean, we make all kind of excuses for our people. I don't support assassination,
Of course not.
I do not support it. But you got to ask, what were they doing? We are the ones who selling ourselves. They sold us. So to say, look at Boko Haram. I mean, the terror they're raining all across Africa. Nobody have any sense. They don't understand what Johnny is saying, or they don't know.
A lot of these conflicts are based on religion and politics.
And race and tribe. They're still fighting tribe.
Yeah, but what we're saying is a lot of it is funded because once you destabilize a
Yeah, but
region
I'm
or
saying
people,
it's
you
funded,
move
but
them
the
out.
people who accept the funding, what about them? We got to hold them responsible, you know, even in the Caribbean, we have to hold our leaders responsible. If somebody come to you, or take Buju Banton, or Buju Banton, people will be bawling for him, right? When he went jail. He put himself in that position. Nobody ever told him about setup.
Somebody here clapping, applauding.
You don't know about setup. Well, Socrates, you better think about setup here.
But I have a question
Think
to ask
about
you.
setup.
I have this question to ask you, right? And you can answer quickly. What if Russia did not come to the defense of Cuba when the Cubans kicked out the Americans' interests? What do you think would have happened to Cuba?
You mean now?
Even now with all the embargo.
They would have taken over all the assets of Cuba and put them back into the position they were
And
before.
Cuba would have been another Haiti.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Why isn't China involved in Cuba? Because I've been asking myself the question.
China, I don't know if they're involved behind the scenes or not, but the interest seems to be focused right now on Africa. Because it's open sesame for
I've
Africa.
been thinking about it.
The Russians had, because there were two elements
I know the
of
Russians
communism.
invested a lot in Cuba.
Right?
And Venezuela.
Correct.
But all of, you see, that's what I'm talking about, our leaders, you know. The Caribbean give them credit. They speak up at the UN about it. And they refuse to back down, even when the one with Venezuela, they refuse to back down. People don't give Dr. Harris any credit, you know. But he was then the chairman and the Belgian Prime Minister and the Trinidad one. They refuse to back down, and that is what we want. But to give the impression that, oh, the black people, them so simple, everybody walk over them. A lot of it is our leaders, and we might as well face it. All right, then.
The point is taken, but many of the leaders are actually put in place as puppet government, and so they do the will and the bidding of the masters. But the question is, what if Russia did not come to the aid of Cuba when the Cubans kicked out the American interests and the Americans put on the big embargo on them and decided to cripple them even today? And we go to the phone lines. Caller, you're live. Welcome to Voices.
The King.
Respect, how are you?
Jacob Zuma nurtured the system in South Africa. He was silent when the apartheid Caucasian race was doing all the ill that they were doing to our brothers and sisters in
Zuma
South
was
Africa.
silent? Wasn't he fighting with the ANC?
Sorry?
Wasn't he fighting with the ANC?
Something like that.
He was fighting
on
behalf of the ANC.
What I'm saying is, even in Mandela's time, he was silent. He was so silent. Now, what he recognizes that he wants a piece of the pie. And the white in South Africa is saying no. You see, we have to be careful with what is happening, because it's happening here too. Jake, the white in South Africa are armed to the teeth to protect themselves, while blacks are not protected. The whites are like fighting blacks because they have the latest weapon to protect their land and their property. They're even bigger than the government.
Wasn't there a leveling of the playing field in South Africa after the ANC took control of the country?
That was just the first instance, the King. It is worse than it was before. No. That's why I'm telling our people to get involved with the platform that I'm trying out. Pan-African Daily TV, you can be up to date with what is happening. Make Africa great and wake up Africa. I mean, why is it that we only want to listen to ourselves? I mean, listen to our story when it's someone else is telling us. And I mean some other different race. Why? What is wrong with us? How long are we going to allow this to go on? I mean, who are we? We are the most disrespected race on the earth. There's no doubt about it. We have to change that. We have to change. The King, I mentioned some time ago, I was at Scotiabank, and I don't want to be repetitive. I was at Scotiabank one morning, and this was around 8:30 to 9. I went to the ATM machine, and the machine took my card, so I had to go on in the bank to retrieve it. While I did, I went to the teller, not the one that you go to get cash, a little one on the right to go in that little. This is at Rams Barber. And a white lady came in, works at the bank, while the teller is there dealing with me. The lady walked in, straight face, said nothing. The lady who was dealing with me looked up and greeted her by telling her good morning. And I said to her, Miss, what is wrong with you? That woman come in the common courtesy for she to greet you. She comes in and she walks straight in and you look up and greet her. She said to me, Mister, you're right, I said, come on. What are you doing? So what is wrong with us? How are we going to allow this carnage to continue? And as Eli said, the only way we can cripple this narrative of these people is for we to embrace who we are.
But they have to be a collective.
Unplug ourselves from their narrative. Because we're living it. We're living it every day. They're throwing it at us on every sphere. Even this gadget that I'm talking to you from. This is how they throw things at us to keep us plugged into their narrative. We need to break away from this. We can't continue like this.
Well, first, if I may suggest, we have to address the tribalism that keep us from communicating amongst ourselves.
But the king, that is being taken care of on the grounds. But it's not going to be an easy road. That's what I'm saying. Unless I mentioned some time ago and people didn't understand what I'm saying. I said social media can be bigger than CNN and BBC. What do I mean by that? If you are let's say you come into connection with some information that is positive pertaining to your race. You share it to 20 people. That 20 people are going to share this same information. We can cripple this system. We can't continue like this. We're not supposed to be poor. They have created generational wealth from the continent of Africa. France alone is taking $500 billion annually. $500 billion annually.
That is true.
From 14 francophone countries in Africa. I mean, that alone can alleviate poverty on the continent. And the AU and the United Nations are quiet on this because they are benefiting from it.
With this, they're in lockstep at the UN, at the AU. You don't get any kind of assistance.
My voice alone, I know what they're in lock with. My voice alone cannot change it. That's why I'm saying we have to unite. Social media can be bigger than BBC and CNN. If I share something with you and you share with 10 people and keep that sharing going on, we cripple their system.
Okay.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're very welcomed. The challenge that, and I was indicating that back in the, my early days, I recall when doing a song called The Unshackled Mind in Warner Park. And Dr. Simon Henderson Jones came backstage. He said, Socrates, what are you doing? They have no idea who you're talking about. And I was speaking about the curriculum that was being taught in the school that does not address the history of our people. The end of callers line? We go back to the line. Caller, welcome to the program. You're live on Voices. We apologize for that caller. You're free to try to get back in before the midday newscast. And yes, Dr. Jones says to me, they cannot relate to what you're singing. I have 3 songs that deal with the atrocities, the history of Haiti and what's happening there. No airplay. I went to one in Antigua some 15 years ago, perhaps, in a competition. And we go to the phone lines. Caller, welcome to the program. You're live on Voices.
Yeah, greetings again, my brother. Mental slavery is real.
Yes.
It's real. It's even worse than the chains, them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me I tell you. Serious thing, Anyhow, what we want to talk about is the workers and this compulsory vaccination. Okay. There is no union stronger than when workers get together and decide they ain't going to tolerate.
Hello?
a minute, but let me talk till my credit done. And I'm talking about unity workers, labor workers, PAM workers, NRP workers, any worker. And then Jamaica tell me, you know, about the Babylon that wipes us up, make everybody stay home and don't go work. Every somebody stay home and say, no man going nowhere. Anything cripple. See me? So, if people serious about their rights, that's have to go on. Non-political, just like Rasta make a stand non-political, because we don't care who in power. We say we're not in a something called vaccination, we're not in it. We're not anti-vaccine, we're not anti-political party, we just take this stand as we be alive. You see me?
Is that right?
Yes, workers have to come together, no matter who
And we would have his credit run out. Ras, Eli, I understand, I feel your passion, and I'm sorry that your credit ran out. He did say he doesn't speak until his credit ran out, so that probably what happened. But the message is given. He's advocating for the workers to unite on the topic. Let's take this call. Call 11 Voices. Let's lose him.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the
Socrates.
program. Yes, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Right.
Well, Eli, and the caller before you, I support you guys 100%. You see, it's okay to some people to call the radio station and say, we must hold people accountable. But we're not holding our government and think it's accountable. We quick to speak about everything in everybody else's country. But we have a massive problem in St. Kitts today. And nobody wants to address the problem. Nobody wants to address it head on. We had a problem with Douglas and the passport. We had the most lawyers in St. Kitts. Everybody was talking. Everybody was international lawyer. Everybody didn't know what was wrong. The passport was given to the man. He didn't rob nobody. He didn't thief the passport. But it was a major problem in this country. But now we have a problem with people being threatened because you didn't take a vaccine. Everybody's silent. Everybody, we're talking about Haiti.
You mean the jobs?
Haiti. I don't want to hear nothing about Haiti.
You mean the jobs being
That's not my problem. My problem is that would I be able to put bread on the table for my children? These are the problem. Everybody says hold this accountable, hold that accountable. But we're not holding the leader here accountable. Because he said that this is where you have to go to, and everybody got to take vaccine. And nobody want to hold him accountable for them words. Them is serious words. Nobody hold the age accountable to tell people they must use their common sense. Nobody holding the doctor accountable that if somebody dropped down outside the office, what is that going to do? But hold everybody else around the world accountable. My people, let us wake up. There's big demonstration in Cuba right now as you speak. Some people are talking about Cuba one breath, and the next breath they're talking about Cuba. Our leader said that thing is like Haiti years ago. But we forget that. Now we're sending sympathy to the man in Haiti. So who should we hold accountable? Just hold one man accountable. That was Dougie. Nothing wrong with that. But Dougie ain't my problem right now. The problem is bigger than Dougie, and I don't care about Dougie and the situation today. Because my problem is food on the table for my children. And nobody in this country today is addressing it. Nobody wants to address it. This same radio station had an ad. Douglas is a galloping dictator. Nobody said it was disrespectful. And we had all kind of big people on this radio station who own the radio station or shareholders or whatever you want to call it. Nobody called it disrespectful. But hold everybody is accountable. Nobody hold the radio station accountable. But if you say Timothy Harris is a big stone, it's a problem. It's disrespectful. Nobody hold them accountable when you write a letter. Say I'm a Harris in this country. Nobody. Because it wasn't to hold them accountable for that. For a good uprising citizen to be treated in this way, don't hold them accountable. Don't hold them accountable for saying that he must be deported, for speaking of what he feels is right in the country. But hold everybody as accountable. When are we going to wake up as the brothers just said a while ago? When are we going to wake up as a people? I know my country ain't going away. Me anti-vax. I have a problem I need to know. I can't trust the people who lead in the charge on the vaccine. These are the issues. And every day we are stressed out. But don't hold nobody as accountable. What are we going to do today? What we supposed to do as a people? Labor, unity, NRP, everybody ain't take the vaccine. But some people just have the agenda that if you don't take the vaccine, you must not eat. And no lawyer coming forward, nobody willing to speak out. because all kind of shenanigans and don't hold the government accountable. 3 people died from COVID. We're not going to call it negligent on their behalf for letting the Argentina man in this country. But don't hold them accountable. Hold everybody accountable. Socrates, have a lovely day.
Well, thank you for your contribution. And we are almost at the point where we have to pause for the midday newscast. We have enough time for this caller? Are they in the caller on the line? On the caller, okay. We are just about to wrap up the first half of today's episode of Voices. We want to thank all our callers who made their many contributions on the various topics. And let's take the last call before the newscast. Good day, caller, live on Voices. Yes, okay. They will have ample opportunity to call back on the second half after the newsday and newscast and the weather reports. So as I was saying, we want to thank all the many callers who made their contributions on the various topics to this program. And if you get a chance, we'd love to have you back for, the continuation of debate after the newscast. Chris Collins, how are you two guys? Your issue. Chris, love your step in Sheffield, enjoy. And we pause for the midday newscast.
Cool. Energize your goals with Lucozade. Get it cool. Look under the cap. Find the code. Win it. Thousands in prizes. iPhones and TVs. Or win 30 grand US dollars for your goals. That's goals.
For a chance to win 30,000 US dollars. Purchase any Lucozade Energy promo bottle. Look under the cap and find the code to win iPhones, TVs, and free Lucozade for 30,000 US dollars to energize your goals. See website, social media, or press for details. Lucozade, taste the energy.
If you need insurance, our service is the best. Home motor insurance can give you more for less. Property insurance can save you a lot of stress. At TDC Insurance Company Limited, we care about your investment. Guarantee you peace of mind. The best team in the business. Guarantee you peace of mind. No other company will guarantee you peace of mind. Together we'll succeed and guarantee you peace of mind.
TDC Insurance Company Limited, where you get more coverage for less.
When the star them there, we are top man, we take charge. Have no reaching now, we are shell down hard. Blast like a star in some gallopar. Overdo it, we take it too far. Take charge, take charge.
We are hot gal, we set the trend. Magnum we drink for the top man them. Wine with the style, no stop from spin. Hot blend, back bend, and take charge, take charge.
Magnum tonic wine, for the real star them. Take charge, take charge. Must be 18 or older, drink responsibly.
TDC Automotive is paying for you. Deposit? We're paying. 3-month installments? We're paying. Pay nothing for 3 months because we are paying. Take a moment, catch your breath, and roll out with ease. Save over $20,000 off your new Toyota Hiace because TDC Automotive is paying. Get your Toyota Hiace today. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
The Sound 99.9.
We now bring you the headline news. The headline news is brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Carib Brewery.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International, by land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day.
Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
With the WIN headline news, I am Devon Cornelius. In our headlines, government reduces quarantine to 3 days for fully vaccinated, and SKN government ends the 24-hour lockdown. The details straight ahead. Effective July 12, 2021, fully vaccinated travelers to St. Kitts and Nevis will be required to quarantine for 3 days at a government-approved COVID-19 facility or at an approved hotel offering vacation in place. That was revealed by the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, during a televised address to the nation on July 10, 2020.
Protocols for entry into St. Kitts and Nevis shall remain in full effect, save for the period of quarantine set out below. Quarantine for incoming fully vaccinated passengers will be reduced from 9 days to 3 days with testing on the 4th day and release once the test is negative. Children under 18 years and accompanying their fully vaccinated parents or guardians will be treated the same as their parents or guardians in relation to the period of quarantine. Quarantine remains at 14 days for unvaccinated returning citizens and residents. Quarantine shall be at a government-approved quarantine facility or at a hotel offering vacation in place. Those wishing to quarantine at home will continue to require and pay for private security during the period of quarantine. We shall assess thereafter what further steps can be safely taken to reopen our country in an orderly and prudent manner as guided by our experts.
Unvaccinated returning citizens and residents will be required to quarantine for 14 days at an approved government COVID-19 facility or at a certified hotel offering vacation in place. Persons who prefer to quarantine at home are permitted to do so upon approval by the National COVID-19 Task Force. Approved home quarantine will require security at the expense of the traveler. The government describes fully vaccinated people as individuals who have taken 2 doses of a 2-dose regimen vaccine. The 24-hour lockdown has been lifted in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis effective 5 a.m. Monday, July 12, 2021, acting on the advice of the National COVID-19 Task Force, so notes Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris in his televised address to the nation on Saturday, July 10, 2021. As part of the government's slate of stringent measures to curb the spread of the Lambda SARS-CoV-2 variant introduced in the Federation following the May 19th outbreak, a 24-hour lockdown was implemented for the island of St. Kitts on Sunday, June 27, 2021, which at the time had 299 active cases of the virus and 3 reported COVID-19 related deaths. The island of Nevis later saw a similar approach after its 16th and 17th case of the virus was identified by health officials on June 29th and June 30th, respectively. Prime Minister Harris declared a 24-hour lockdown for the island at 6 p.m. Saturday, July 3, 2021, which he said became necessary as Case 16 on Nevis works in an environment with extremely vulnerable persons. Other stringent measures included a shelter-in-place order strictly enforced by law enforcement officers, the closure of all offices for government, statutory bodies and state-owned enterprises, closure of all businesses where employees cannot work remotely from home, a halt on social and mass gathering events, suspension of liquor licenses, and the suspension of non-essential travel between St. Kitts and Nevis. The St. Kitts and Nevis COVID-19 Situation Report number 472, issued 6 p.m. July 11, 2021, indicates a total of 530 confirmed cases, 400 recovered, 127 active, and 3 deaths. Of the total confirmed cases in the Federation, there are 512 on St. Kitts and 18 for Nevis. The following are measures announced by the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, during a televised address to the nation on Saturday, July 10, 2021. Curfew is now from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. effective Monday, July 12, 2021, for the next 2 weeks in the first instance. All persons employed in the public service, statutory bodies, or state-owned enterprises shall resume work on Monday, July 12, 2021. All businesses may return to normal working hours, subject to the curfew, and follow all COVID-19 protocols. Businesses include the construction sector, barbershops and hair salons, which should have no more than 2 to 4 customers waiting based on the size of the establishment. All vendors are to remain in the public market. Passenger buses allowed a maximum capacity of 10 passengers. However, all protocols must be enforced. Inter-island travel between St. Kitts and Nevis will resume, with all COVID-19 protocols being strictly observed. Churches can resume normal services with strict adherence to the COVID-19 protocols. Bars and restaurants can resume normal operating hours, but subject to the curfew and strict adherence to the COVID-19 protocols. Sporting events will be allowed in accordance with the conditions outlined in the new SRO. Social gatherings will be permitted, but organizers must first apply for permission from the Commissioner of Police. Beaches will be open for exercise only. No beach parties or mass gathering permitted.
In regional news,
a call from the soca Elvis for more to be done for entertainers. Michael Zoom Saloom is pleading with government to do more for entertainers during the ongoing pandemic. He says they need help finding alternate means of income.
And nothing was said about the entertainment industry
I'm not a rebel. I'm not protesting. I'm just asking if we could get some kind of help in the entertainment industry. We're grateful for the grant that we got last year, but I know I have a lot of friends, who have their cars repossessed. They can't pay their rents, and I think the entertainment industry is taking the longest to really hear, something that's going on in it.
He says apart from the government, he needs to get the support of his fellow entertainers to make enough noise to be heard in the right quarters. Soca Elvis was speaking from the car park of Napa, where he held a virtual concert for his fans on Saturday. He says, from his research, there are ways to kickstart the entertainment industry while staying safe and minimizing the infection spread.
They have stuff like drive-in concerts, just like how they have drive-in cinemas, like how we used to have K-Donna. They have drive-in concerts, like for instance this car park here. People could drive in, keep their social distance inside the car, set up entertainers outside, do concerts. People could be serving, light refreshments, come into your window, giving you it. I mean, obviously you need to have toilet facilities, clean, hygiene, that kind of thing. So that's just one of my ideas that we could introduce. Then you have other ideas as well too, where we could have concerts. If it's in a shopping mall, when they open back the malls, you could put the entertainers in the mall.
Fellow entertainer Bobby Mohan told TTT News that never in his life would he have expected the entertainment industry to be in this situation. The leader of the band, Workshop 868, says while they're calling for some sort of assistance, he does not want to put his band nor the public at risk. Mohan says the offer for entertainers to travel by the government may sound good, but it has its risks.
I have been vaccinated with my one shot, right? And I know it's a risk for all of us, but we have to find a way to earn a livelihood. And not everybody is going to be given that opportunity to travel outside, especially the musicians, right? Right, so we're looking at avenues where we could create, and of course, keeping it safe, that we could go out there and earn something. Because the government grants, I haven't been given any grants. I think I applied and I didn't get through. But the thing is, not everybody going to be given that opportunity to travel.
They are hoping for more easing up soon. Terry Ann Brown Campbell, TTT News.
One order gang, who has been on the run for over a year, was captured at an apartment complex in St. Andrew. According to the police, he's wanted for murder and a string of shootings in St. Catherine. More in this report.
26-year-old Kevon McCollum of Beacon Hill in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, had been on the run for nearly 2 years. His freedom, however, was cut short following a high-level police operation on Wednesday.
He is a reputed member of the Black Man faction of the One Order gang. Now, it was our intention to take him in, to apprehend him and place him before the court. I believe that operation was successful. We were able to do so with a great deal of precision. Our target was acquired, no shots were fired, no injuries were sustained, and there were no fatalities.
Mr. McCollum landed himself on the country's most wanted list following a series of shootings in St. Catherine.
He was wanted in connection with a shooting incident in February of this year, also in Spanish Town. So he was someone who was on the police's radar. He was somebody that our intelligence or capabilities were building on, and we were successful in identifying where he was and to be able to extract him and apprehend him.
According to the police, a female and a taxi driver were also apprehended. A motor vehicle was also seized. Senior communications strategist at the Jamaica Constabulary Force, Dennis Brooks, gave this response when asked whether the accused or the other two persons now in custody will be charged.
The investigation is in its early stages, but as you would imagine, the case against him would have been prepared, which is why he would have been elevated to the point of being wanted. So as a wanted person, there would have been case file being prepared. So in short order, I would imagine that charges would be laid.
Giovanni Dennis, TVJ News.
The suspect in the killing of 20-year-old accounting clerk Canice Jackson was remanded in custody when the case was called up in the Home Circuit Court. The suspect, a St. Catherine-based mechanic, faced the court via a Zoom call this morning. Robert Fowler is the only suspect in the gruesome murder of 20-year-old Canice Jackson in March this year. He has been in custody since March when he was held, questioned by the Portmore police, and charged with murder. On Thursday, when the case was called, Mr. Fowler faced the judge via a video link. However, the prosecution requested more time, informing the court that the case file is still incomplete. Attorneys Althea Freeman and Lyndon Wellesley are representing Mr. Fowler.
There are still some outstanding documents which the prosecution is required to disclose by July 30th of 2021. And there are still further outstanding documents to be disclosed at a later date.
The outstanding documents are 2 forensic reports, including one detailing the suspect's phone records. The attorneys say once these files are presented, they will take further directives from their client. 50-year-old Robert Fowler, a mechanic of a Portmore address, was picked up by the police after Canice Jackson's body was found in bushes off the Dyke Road in Portmore on March 26. Miss Jackson lived in Independence City and was reported missing 2 days before. Police investigators say Miss Jackson's handbag, bank card, and other personal items were found at Mr. Fowler's home. Mr. Fowler is to return to court on November 25. In the meantime, we revisited some areas in the corporate area where there was major flooding on Sunday. Cody and Barrett has that report.
Our first stop was Marcus Garvey Drive. This was a road on Sunday when TVJ News visited the area.
Tinson Pen Aerodrome, Tara Courier Service and Kingston's Wharves Auto Cargo were places mostly affected by the flooding. We spoke to some employees from Tinson Pen Aerodrome who gave an account of what happened on Sunday.
The entire car park over there, it was flooded. Both entrances, we have 2 entrances to access the aerodrome. Both entrances were flooded. No one could come out or come in. Like, we had an officer yesterday, he was trying to get out to go home and he couldn't. So everyone here, we were trapped.
Luckily, the water receded quickly and they could go home. But the debris behind me stands as an obvious indicator of the aftermath of flooding as a result of Tropical Storm Elsa. On Sunday, this entire area outside of Tinson Pen Aerodrome area was flooded. Stalled some vehicles, but today we can see that traffic is free-flowing and things are back to normal.
We also spoke with the CEO of Kingston Wharves Limited, Mark Williams, about plans for the vehicles that were submerged in water at its Global Auto Logistics Center.
But for us, we have in excess of 3,000 cars over there, and a small percentage, less than 5%, was affected. What we're doing at this time is we're doing complete car detailing of those cars, and they should be up and ready for distribution shortly.
In the meantime, he says investments into the drainage infrastructure over the years at Tinson Pen has alleviated some of the impact of flooding.
What we recognize is that it's a wider challenge, and the entire drainage infrastructure in Kingston, and certainly in and around Marcus Garvey Drive and the wider Newport West area, require a national solution. It does require major investment and major drainage work in the area. And certainly we want to be at the table to have that conversation with all parties, including government.
Our next stop was the New Haven community in Duhaney Park, St. Andrew. For years, the area has been prone to flooding. While water was still on some roadways, one resident revealed that things have improved.
Because normally, you see us flood out, I know we're underwater. You see us look down this, we're underwater. You see the road up there, so we're underwater.
Administrative Assistant for Member of Parliament Anthony Hilton, Mario Wallace, noted that the National Works Agency has done some work in the area, which has resulted in the water receding off the roadway faster than in previous years. However, flooding persists.
Within this constituency, you'd find that the water
from north flows downward into this section. So in Seaview, you'd find that the water from Tower Hill, Waterhouse, even Marcus Garvey Drive comes into Seaview. The drainage system that is there has been there from the 80s when the community was just built. So there was no real improvement for the drain to carry that volume of water, which is now affecting residents there.
He says although the drains were cleaned, it's not enough to prevent the flooding. What is needed, he contends, is a new drainage network to solve the issue permanently. Cody Ann Barrett, TVJ News.
And the latest tranche of Sinopharm injections will arrive in Trinidad and Tobago this week. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says this latest shipment will ramp up government's vaccination program.
So got 100,000 from the Chinese government, and in our line of purchase from China, we purchased 200,000. And as I speak to you now, on the way to us, in the air on the way to us, scheduled to arrive here on Tuesday morning, is a shipment of 800,000 vaccines.
The Chinese ambassador has also confirmed that a large batch of Sinopharm vaccines are arriving in the country next week. In a Facebook post, he said that he was heartened to update that 800,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccines procured by the TNT government will be arriving early next week. He added that the total of donation and procurement of Chinese vaccines in TNT now stands at 1.1 million doses. This also makes for 3 batches in a row in less than 60 days since China prioritized and expedited vaccines provision to Trinidad and Tobago. Ambassador Fang Kui says these timely vaccines will assist with Trinidad and Tobago's mass vaccination drive, especially as it's reopening its border.
Haitian police say these men, paraded out for the press, were the ones who carried out an attack that killed Haitian President Jovenel Moïse and wounded his wife. The suspects, 18 Colombian men, most of them former soldiers, and 2 Americans of Haitian descent. But now authorities say they have the mastermind, blaming a Florida doctor, saying he flew into the country on a private jet, intent on taking over the presidency. American investigators from the FBI and Homeland Security are believed to be taking part in the investigation now. But as for Haiti's request for U.S. troops, it seems unlikely.
And today, an interagency team, largely from Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, are heading down to Haiti right now to see what we can do to help them in the investigative process. And I think that's really where our energies are best applied right now, in helping them get their arms around investigating this incident and figuring out who's culpable, who's responsible, and how best to hold them accountable going forward. That's where our focus is right now.
There are reports that armed gangs have in essence taken over, their violent crimes unchecked by police.
In certain places we see 1 or 2 police officers, but they don't have the capacity to take over security. There are not enough police. The Director General of the National Police said there are enough police for the capital, but I don't see them. We can see one here, one there.
And now one of Haiti's most powerful gang leaders is threatening more violence.
We will take to the streets to ask those who monopolize the country's economy to give us our country back. It's time for black people with afro hair like us to own supermarkets, to have car dealerships and own banks. I call on the attention of the masters of the system because the people will take to the streets. The last time the people came out, they threw tear gas. When the people come out, we are going to use self-defense. I repeat, if they shoot at us, we already know what we have to do.
Many Haitians have been hiding in their homes, but some look for sanctuary in their churches Sunday, while Pope Francis sent them public prayers.
I join the heartfelt appeal of the bishops of the country to drop the weapons and choose life, and choose to live together in brotherhood in the interest of everybody and in the interest of all the others. I'm close to the beloved people of Haiti. I hope the spiral of violence will end and the nation will be able to recover the path towards a future of peace and harmony.
And still, there is a political void as politicians fight over who will lead next. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.
That was the WINNFM Headline News. The Headline News was brought to you by Caribbean Alliance, KDP Enterprises, The Grange, and Caribbean.
We are faced with tough decisions every day, but choosing the right home or motor insurance shouldn't be one. You need fast claim settlement from a company that's been rooted for over 31 years. And don't forget the A Excellent rating by AM Best. Make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance Insurance. Reliable insurance that you can count on. Get a quote today for your home, motor, contents, and liability insurance needs, and make the intelligent choice. Caribbean Alliance. Tomorrow secured. Local agents, Dalil Walwyn & Co. Limited. Telephone 465-2631 or 469-5303 for the Nevis office.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare organization on St. Kitts? It's situated at Otley's, 7 miles east of Basseterre in beautifully landscaped surroundings. The Grange has a team of highly trained professionals and provides care that's rated as being comparable with UK and North American standards. The Grange offers varied accommodations to suit your individual needs, and our all-inclusive packages make the cost of care per hour the most competitive on the island. Services include convalescent care for all ages, daycare facilities for older adults, rehabilitation services, and training and continuing education for healthcare providers. For more information, call 466-5525 or 465-8020. Fax 466-8221 or email thegrangehealth@gmail.com or visit our website at www.grangehealthcarefacility.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Shipping your cargo shouldn't be a hassle. It can be as easy as a single call to Amerijet International, your worldwide cargo transportation solution. We provide all the services you need to ship your goods anywhere in the world, whether your shipment is fresh, frozen, large or small, alive or hazardous. You can count on Amerijet to deliver it safe and sound. Amerijet International. By land, sea or air, we get it there. For more information, visit us online at www.amerijet.com or call us at KDP Enterprises at 466-9595.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LCL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St. Kitts. LCL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Horseman & Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
Good afternoon to our many listeners and viewers. Welcome back to Voices.
and we had a rather spirited morning of discussion on various topics. Before we get into anything fundamental, I want to reach out once again to anybody who have any contact with the bear. On Montserrat, I'm told that he left Antigua. I would have gone back to Montserrat. I'm trying to reach him because he should be part of what is called the Caribbean Calypso community. It's a competition slated for the 26th of next month, including El Fabian, Kurt Allen, Tigress, Red Plastic Bag, Hunter, Fire Princess, Calypsonians across the region. Diva would be here representing St. Kitts, myself. So we need to get in touch with the bear, multi-crown Calypso monarch of Antigua. Sometimes when I talk about Socrates, they say former Calypso king. They never say the multi-crown. You're always a farmer. So I want to give this to the bear because he is a multi-crown Calypso monarch of Antigua and Barbuda. And I'd like to reach out to him. But we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome to the program. Just like that. You got to be quick on the trigger. We apologize for that. You're free to call back if you get a chance. And we would like to hear from you on today's episode of Voices. We spoke about what may happen when the cruise ship returns. We spoke about the... Okay, let me pause and take this call from the public. Caller, you live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Yes, the King. This is Journey again.
Yes, Journey.
Just for Mrs. Henry, and good afternoon to our Queen, elderly Mrs. Henry. Now, you mentioned something in the first hour about our education system. And once again, the King, let me ask you, did I read this letter from Lord Macaulay on your program?
You may have it in the past, but I don't know. If you do so, let it be not too long because...
Yeah, it won't be long, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Now, what I want for Mrs. Henry to pay attention to, because she have quite a few titles under her belt in terms of, our education curriculum and all that. Now, here is what Lord Macaulay wrote to the British Parliament on February 2nd, 1835. I have traveled across the length and breadth of Africa. I have not seen one person who is a beggar, who is a thief. Such wealth I have seen in this country. And he was referring to Nigeria at the time, because, he couldn't walk the length and breadth of Africa and live.
Okay, I recall
moral
this, but go ahead.
value of people, such caliber, that I don't think we would ever conquer this country unless we break their very backbone of their culture, their spirituality, their heritage. Therefore, I promise that we replace her old and ancient education system, her culture, for if the Africans think that all that is foreign and English is good and great than their own, they will lose their self-esteem, their narrative culture, and they will become what we want them, a truly dominated nation. This was Lord Macaulay's letter to the British Parliament in the year February the 2nd, 1835. The King, what Lord Macaulay wrote in that year, is just what they did. And not just the British alone. France, Belgium, Germany, Portugal, they all did it to the African continent.
I recall you actually reading this letter before, and we did debate it, so I understand that you're trying to,
Yes, well, I'm just
for the benefit of others who would have heard it before.
Because you mentioned about our education system, and why I'm saying this, if we knew, and this letter wasn't published, they guarded this letter, they hid it. Like I said, the truth is available now, but we are now hiding from the truth. We need to wake up. Today, France have 5,100 military troops in the continent of Africa, preferably Mali. And France have more military base on the continent of Africa than what he has in Paris. What are the days to protect? Emmanuel Macron is saying today that he have his troop there to fight Islamic group. The question we need to ask, how the Islamic group came about and caused the friction that is now happening between France, helping to stabilize the Islamic uprising in Mali. Because you see, this game of politics, it's not just what we see on the eyes, it's deep. And we are playing blind to a lot of things that are detrimental to our people. Once again, if we think what is happening on the continent of Africa will not trickle down to us, we need to wake up. You have heard the commercial on your station that you're on right now, the Caribbean tourism is dead in the water. You and I work in the hospitality industry. I have worked at the major hotels on the island. We need to wake up the king, because this is not going to get better just now. You're now talking about the Minister of Tourism saying about cruise coming and all that. We better be careful with this pandemic, because it's not going to just go away just like that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you once again for your contribution. And I think that was aimed at Sister Henry, based on the response we had given earlier to what he would have said. But he did read that letter before, and I understand the groundwork. Cecil Rhodes was a person. Let me take this call from the public, because they're the ones it's all about. Caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Socrates, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Not bad. Good afternoon to all your listeners.
Beautiful.
Last week, Socrates, me work the one place. I look at me work for myself. And me couldn't hear Win FM, and me cut the work and come, and there was nothing.
We apologize for that. There was some technical challenges at my end, and so we postponed the show for this week. So my apologies for that. I know you're one of the more ardent supporters of the program, so our apologies to you.
So me in between, wonder if me should, me not the same area again, and me wonder if me should do it anyway. Me make up my mind after 11, but by the time I reach you, me just reach in time just to hear Curtis.
Okay.
And then you may try forgetting one other caller, but nobody ever come in.
Okay, well, you got the mic.
Give me the number where you want me to call you.
662, well, first, 869 area code. 662 4690. 662 4690.
4690.
That is correct.
Okay, me get it for buzz up.
Thank you very much, because I have an email address where I reach out to him. I have the other number that many persons sent to me, but they somehow are not reaching him, and we need to reach him like yesterday.
No problem.
Much appreciated. I believe I could have complimented you, so go ahead. The mic is yours.
Yeah. The last time you me on, because the other week now, they make a parliament.
Quite so.
So me notes them good.
Let's have it.
Well, you see, Socrates, this is why me does do so. Imagine with me, mind little thinking. Imagine Judgment Day, when the Creator and every man have to give account for the time them born until. You understand? You get the point, my mate?
Every job in his own bottom.
Right. So, he good for take. Anyway, me get in just before lunch, so me couldn't talk much, and then me tell you that me got something to tell you, and then me get chewing, but the engineer never pick up. Cause you remember you me on virtual.
Okay, that's correct.
Right. Anyway, my positive caller end the show. And she talked for me. She talked for me because you may welcome Greg back, right?
Yes, we did.
Right. But you know that you may run it, right?
I run him?
Yeah.
How?
One. When you talk, you say one size fit all.
I said that.
You don't remember that?
No, man. No.
Ah.
I don't recall. If you said it did, you're probably right, but I don't recall.
Okay, right. That's a one.
Okay.
So, you may give a homework if we come back and tell you how the crucifixion and if me dead this, tell me how you get 3 days.
Oh yes, that's good.
You remember all that?
You got a photographic memory.
Huh?
You've got yourself a photographic memory.
Well, this is what I try to tell you. So this is what I try to tell people. Be careful with what they do, so because Judgment Day, the Creator are going to bring back all that, and them are going to remember, and them are going to have to give an account. Why you me do this? You get the point, my mate?
Correct, yeah.
Anyway, let me start on this here. Greg come back, and Greg may do some research, and in a sense like my cousin Henry, me feel pleased.
Really?
So he come back and find a way, and he congratulate you for doing research on them, but he remind people that there is other studies out there too.
She did.
Right. And me think that a one sad situation because me not go down today, but probably next Monday. Me go come here and me go show the world that Christian, because this whole COVID some of the devil work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Christians have to be careful because no man can serve two masters. So while this here looks not physical, while it looks so good, Socrates, you're dead spiritually. You're dead. Blessed Psalm 1. Let me just dump on this point here. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel
of the ungodly.
Exactly. But let me deal with the word counsel. Who are counsel? Who are counsel? Not this whole matter here. Ungodly, Satan can correct sin. The same people in that leg of corona, the same people in you take advice from.
It would appear so.
Nobody, Socrates, up in a mouth shot, nobody up here see God's face.
Nobody
you
what?
Hear anybody down here see God's face, Socrates?
No.
You ever hear once, whether the CMO or the Prime Minister or in the task force,
none
you
of
ever
claim.
hear anyone of them tell you?
None have claimed to.
Huh?
None have claimed to.
For people see get your heart right with God and so forth. You ever hear that upon the task force?
Well, they pray. Every time they start a thing, they pray first.
Yeah, but you pray to who? You pray to who? You can't serve to master. You can't serve to master. Socrates, from the time they enforce the mass up here and talk about your way mass go to church. Me not go to the church again, you know. Oh. I cannot get on the Antichrist logo. I go worship the true living God. So me not go to the church. You get me?
Well, your cousin waiting to get back.
And me put fire under me leaders and them. Any little chance me get up here.
Mm-hmm.
You catch me? Because two of them used to preach the word of God. And right now, the two of them in the cabinet, two of them in the parliament. So, then turn Judas, then beat your Christ. I'm telling that up every day. When we get tomorrow, I'm going to blaze them again. So okay, then Socrates, maybe get beer for call you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. There's another person trying desperately to get in. He said he's trying to get in on the line. Let's hope he can get in before we get to next commercial break. So keep trying. Are we due for a break or can we take this call? Okay. My friend, try call now. Chris Collins. Okay, let's see if he's got it. Caller, are you live on Voices?
No, it's not Mrs. Henry, but it's one of your ardent callers.
Okay.
Good
You got a
afternoon.
mic. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I remember that discourse with Greg and Mrs. Henry and Mountchat point.
Okay.
You know, Mountchat is adamant about what is at stake and what is at hand. The pros and the cons, they are there. But Socrates, it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yes.
It's been a while. I don't know if you can improvise because sometimes, besides a Monday being a holiday, certain other things, I don't know if there's another slot open up that you can fill the void for because people anticipate your program. And
Really?
that you
You
are
gotta talk.
aware.
I think Voices is now Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That is it. If you want to have an extra day.
It is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Mhm.
But I think the Wednesday and the Friday slot has already been filled.
I'm not following you. If it's
I'm
Mondays,
saying
Wednesdays,
that
and Fridays.
it's on the Monday.
Yeah.
And what you notice, for a couple Mondays now, for whatever reason,
Yeah.
you've not been heard. So people look forward to that. But be that as it may, it is there. I wanted to bring something of a different. I didn't tune in earlier. I just tuned in and I heard Mountchat. I want to pick up Mountchat. And let me go into what I want to say.
Please.
Have you ever heard of, not you, but have you ever, we all grew up in small communities and we would have heard of terms and things that people would have said to each other. Have you ever heard of this term, you are a worthless good for nothing?
Yep.
Right.
We grew up hearing that, being said to us as children, and
Yeah, not towards you, but, we've heard that term
generally,
growing up. And
yes.
Yes. Okay? That has morphed into a worthless good for nothing from what it originally was. A worthless God, drop an O of the D of the good, and you get a worthless God for nothing. That is what the Greeks got long time ago, as they used to make pilgrimage to what we call Egypt, Kemet, and the Greek pantheon is under the guise of another pantheon. And people will get qualms with me if I say the gods, but they may not get qualms with me if I say the angels. Well, every life force in life, like a governmental structure, a pyramid structure, you have the prime minister. But the prime minister does not get involved with Mr. Lindsay's grant portfolio as a minister of tourism. He allows Mr. Lindsay Grant to do his work. Likewise, ministers of energy, roads, you have it. So you have the pyramid structure with the prime minister and the duties of others that allows and help the government to perform, right?
Correct, quite so.
Right. So there are what we call angels today. Deities, gods, goddesses, nectaru. Let's use the word nectaru, from where nature comes from, or lore, or orishas, or one that we don't like to call the vodons. The energies in things, in the trees, in the birds, in the bees, in the, all a life force in which the Most High has already allowed down, like the Prime Minister, and he gave portfolios
hierarchy
to his other ministers. So we want to have another conversation on this topic, a worthless God for nothing that the Greeks got. And can we say, is it around today? Hey, that would be another conversation for another time. Thanks for listening.
Much appreciated. Thank you. That's some deep food for thought. A worthless God for nothing. I'll have to, as you said, get into another conversation to deal with that. The lines are open if you wish to call. The numbers are 6620989, 7620989. We have 7. There's a caller on the line. Caller, 11 Voices. Welcome to the program. Good day, caller, 11 Voices.
Oh, good afternoon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sister
Good
Henry.
afternoon, Mr. Mansorat. When you stay home, you're protecting yourself. That's all you're doing, you know. Nobody could give you corona when you stay home. You understand? That's protection. Now, Africa. Last week I was listening to some videos on YouTube. I asked one to play Antigua culture. And there's a African conscious group in Antigua. And the lady was talking about, she had been to Cameroon and the different languages and story and story and story. I said Africa would be interested. So Africa, if you're listening, you could, in YouTube, type Antigua culture. And there is a group you can join. Because she went to Cameroon, she was talking about the different languages he talk about. You know, because he like talk about this kind of language and that kind of language and the root of the words and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I thought about him, and now back to Mansuet. Mansuet, I don't know, you got to give me a little Bible lessons here. The Bible says when he forgive your sins, he removes them. So are we going to have to give account of what was forgiven? That's the question. That is the question for you. And I love you, I love your spirit, you know. But
I think he's trying to refer to what's happening now in terms of the...
I hear him.
Okay, because
you know, some people mind you can't change, right?
He's of the view that COVID is of the devil. That's his position.
Well, look, the devil's job is to rob, kill, and destroy. Let's start there. John 10:10. The thief come to rob, kill, and destroy. Anything that come to rob, kill, and destroy is of the devil. Plain up. Jesus said he came to give life and life more abundantly. So if you have the Lord, you can have eternal life. You don't got to frighten and run around and abstain. And I don't know what the clock got to do with the sign. If you read in Revelation, because I've been doing studies, you know, on the internet, mark of the beast and all of that. Explain when will it happen. Will the Christians be here to get the mark, or would they have been gone? Because that would be the turning point.
Talk about the rapture?
Yes. Because if they're not going to be here, the mark of the beast ain't for them. You understand?
Okay.
If they're going to be here, I could understand the mark of the beast story.
This is
but
great.
just make your calling and your election sure. That's what I do, you know. Every day I say, Lord God, have mercy on me and Greg. That's how we go. You got to make sure and win as many as you can, which I try to do.
I see.
But to Revelation, you see how many things happened before that? How many things must happen before? Because Jesus said you're going to have many tribulations, many false prophets shall come. You know, the other day before, when election, you had the QAnon. You hear about the QAnon?
Yes, they became very front and center.
And they had some evangelical churches between them. I remember I condemned them one day, you know. One of them was on another station. I asked him, Mr. Man, will you come down here with that? And, oh, this is going to happen and all of this. On scripture, the Bible says, don't be afraid of false prophets. It says in Deuteronomy, you know, when they come and say, the Lord say, and this going to happen, and he ain't tell them so, ignore them. You don't got to argue with anybody. But you must look at the word, because everything COVID is bad, what's to come. And you got to tell me whether the mark will share after or before.
Well, you're both educating from different perspectives, so I would love to hear
That's what I'm asking him, you know, because the way they say it, so like everybody can get mark. Number one, you can't get mark if you got the mark of the blood on you. Number one. No Christian can get the mark. None.
Not everyone are
it's those
Christians.
who don't serve God and they make up their mind. He can't mark you. You already marked with the blood of Jesus. So you don't make up your mind to die if it come down to that.
So our friend is safe.
But well, worse than COVID is to come, you know. That's what the Bible says. Worse than COVID is to come. So make your calling and your election sure. And don't allow people to... I never hear more conspiracy theories. Says my mother, bring me. You got to be careful with them. And they were in the evangelical churches, and Trump is the man, and Trump is...
I was telling the engineer, Sharon, that because of the easy access to cell phone and social media, we every 2 minutes have a whole
some kind
different...
of a humble story, and we fall in for it.
Fall for it.
That's why the Bible says, when the Son of Man come back, will he find faith on the earth? So much story, mix-up, confusion, and we believe in them because it is convenient. We don't want to take no vaccine. So vaccine is the mark of the beast.
All right.
You cannot mark God's people, Mr. Man. You cannot mark them. You mark with the blood, you mark. When Moses and they were leaving Egypt, you know, it was the blood on the door. He said, when I see the blood of Passover, once you were inside of that house and the blood was on the door,
it pass over you.
You're safe. You're safe, so make sure you're under the blood. All of us, you and all of us. Stop terrifying yourself.
We want to thank you for that,
All right,
Sister
then.
Henry. We're going to pause for a word from our sponsors. We are almost at the top of the hour, but we're going to pause for a word from the sponsors and get back with the program. So, my friend, I know you're trying to call in, so keep on trying. We apologize, but the line is kind of hard at the moment.
Here are your Horsford's Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag specials from July 1st through 14th. Essential everyday apple juices, just $6.99. IGA canned vegetables, $2.99. IGA peanut butter, creamy and crunchy, $7.99. Almond grease milk, $12.99. Essential everyday bar and shredded cheeses, just $7.99. Wishbone salad dressings, just $8.99. And now our very low weekly value deals. Kraft barbecue sauces, $5.99 each. Essential everyday pastas, $2.99. IGA squeezed ketchup, $3.99. Equaline mouthwash, 1.3 to 1.5 liters, just $9.49. Shop smart, shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras a Value Mart.
And we go straight to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. You're live on Voices.
Yes, King, I'm back. I was prompted by Mrs. Henry. Good afternoon, Mrs. Henry. Yes, I listened to the lady, one or two of her videos. One of the things that struck me is something she said when asked a question by the interviewer, the clip that I listened to her. She was interviewed. And the gentleman asked her, how did the Antiguans came to be called by the name Garrett? And she explained, according to her research, because there are some books written on an event that happened in 1932, before Marcus Garvey even publicly coined the phrase Garrett on probably one of the workers on the ship, I was told. But in 1932, there were a sort of an uprising secretly to really revolt from the sugar estate. And there was this particular sugar estate owned by a family called the Diamond or Jewel family, some family of that nature. But anyway, when certain persons who knew of the plot went and told the estate owner, the plantation owner, of the plot, and then it took them probably 7 years to round up all of the leaders. I think one of the leaders, his name King Court. I don't want a colonial name, but he did have another name, King Court. And they were hanged. All of them were hanged.
They were hung?
Well, Hello?
You said that they were hung, executed?
Yes, all of the leaders who had this intention of all the sugar estates on Antigua to really uprise and get their freedom. But the plot was spoiled by persons, local persons who knew of it, and, because the actual date when they wanted to do that, it was a delay because they were supposed to be a gathering of these estate owners, and it did not happen that way. Anyway, they round them up after about 7 years it took for them to hang them up, to round up all the perpetrators, the leaders, and hang them. Then persons in St. Kitts who know what the word a garret is, like a betrayer, of that nature, is who coined the phrase garret. So the lady said when she came to St. Kitts, and when asked where was she from, she said Antigua. And persons scoffed at her and said, oh, you're Garrett. But she said she understood, the solidarity with the petitions, who thought that, wow, why would an Antiguan who is under the yoke of, the plantation owners would have spoiled the plot on the uprisers, because they were uprising here in probably St. Croix, in other countries. The one in St. Croix or St. Thomas or St. John was led by a lady, but most of them was probably from the Akan people, ethnic group. And so that plot was spoiled. But it's the petitions is who first coined the phrase, and then that coined phrase went to other islands where other people, islanders, started to call Antiguans by the name Garrett. So I do listen to the lady, and she speaks. She have a lot of knowledge, because she did went to that place, Sierra Leone, one of those West African countries, and she did some research there. So
okay,
yes, I am familiar with the lady, Mrs. Henry. We are reconstructing who we are to be. Some persons might agree, and some may not agree. But this is who we are. We are proud people, and we need not to put our pride under the bushes anymore. This is who we are. It is yearning. It is in our DNA. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for your contribution. I recall back in the early day in the USVI when we were referred to generally as Garretts, whether you were Catition, Antiguan, etc., but it was really, as we understood it, about Antigans. Remember the big song by Lord Nelson, Garrett Bounce, celebrated the people generally, but it was a coin phrase for Antigans. We go straight to the phone lines. Caller, you're live on Voices. Go there, caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Well, I'm going to give you a lighter note on the Garrett story. You know married to an Antiguan?
I know that. I know him very well.
Yes, so when me and my husband courting, my father's strong objection was, you want a Garrett?
Mm-hmm.
He said, Marcus Garvey said, don't trust a Garrett. He said, it's a Garrett between Marcus Garvey. I never heard the story,
Yeah, I got it in the song.
Yeah, my father told me, son, when my children come, he said, used to them days, not our people, those days, just Garrett. Mm-hmm. And the Antigua, Sylvina, she Antigua children, and she Garrett. But he learned to accept them, Yeah. But I was glad to hear the lady, I had no idea what it meant. Mm-hmm. All I figured, he don't like Antigua people. Yeah. He kept saying, you see, and Garrett, Marcus, tell him about Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey say, you ever heard of him before?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Oh, that must the poor Antiguan people.
They say
Marcus Garvey said don't trust a Garrett.
For a bag of rice.
The Garrett between Marcus Garvey.
For a bag of rice,
to the story was, but the one, it's good to listen to Lord King Court. Mm-hmm. All right then.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Yes, I'll never forget. No way they crucified Jesus Christ. And we go back to the lines. The caller. My friend, try your best and get it up because I know you've been trying, etc. It's been a hotline, so try now, please. Okay? I have somebody desperately trying to get in. Me said, try now. Okay. So he done. Oh, well. And we go straight to the phone lines. Good day, caller. You're live on the program. You're live on Voices. Hello there. Good afternoon. You're live on Voices.
Socrates.
Yes, sir.
Be sure you go call you tonight.
I appreciate that. I'll be standing by for the call. So you would have heard your cousin, right?
Right.
You heard her responses, right?
Yeah, but you know me have to respond. And you see, this is the second time now. Well, I'm more than second time because even during the election, me call out Cousin Henry to ask Cousin Henry one simple question. Just come and tell me if you got the election at the state of emergency, if it's right or wrong. And she never answered me yet.
Okay.
No, this is the second time now on your show. Cousin Henry, every time I come and say something, the people don't say. Socrates, did I ever mention the mark of the beast for you?
No.
So, Cousin Henry can come up with mark of the beast foolishness.
No, you didn't.
Let me say exactly what me say again. Me say the same people them that let go corona, the same people and Satan cannot correct sin. But that's what me say?
That is exactly what you said, yes.
Me demonstrate Psalms 1. Blessed is man that walketh not in the counsel
of the ungodly. That is correct. That is correct. I think I'm the one who used the phrase mark of the beast. But it really is, so I probably is at fault. But you did not say.
Listen. Socrates, me believe, me demonstrate one time, me demonstrate to you like, if God tell you not go on your house roof, and you get the ladder, and me ask you, well, what point you sin? If when you go on the house roof, and me tell you, just even considering
getting the ladder.
For just get the ladder and for even start to go up on the ladder, and even make one demonstration and say,
you would have sinned already.
If I go up on the ladder, if you fall on and you're dead. You get what I say?
Correct.
The point about it, this is the point about it. A foolishness, Miss Henry come in the chat. The point about it, God, okay, let me come. The devil tell Jesus to turn them bread into stone. You believe Jesus could do that?
Easily.
Easily. But the point about it, the moment that he do he don't worship the devil, he don't obey the devil. You get the point?
Of course.
So the moment that you know I carry out as all this year, you say, and so fam, I for welcome in the Antichrist. And you know a farm, you know a help farm the last them. You with it, you know with Jesus, you with it. You get the point of me, mate?
I hear you clearly, but she did say that these things will happen before the coming. So, you know, she expects certain things to manifest before.
Listen to me.
What is perceived to be the arrival of the Antichrist.
People wear masks. Physically, it look good. But spiritually, look, but not the Garden of Eden. God say, if you eat the apple, you go dead. Satan say, did God tell you you're going really dead? No, you're going to get wise. He's fall for the devil. Eve eat the apple. Did she physically dead? No.
Spiritually.
Because God is a spirit. And he don't worshiping in spirit and in truth. And the spiritual death. That's a thing. So Miss Henry chat crap.
Let's keep it respectful. Let's keep it respectful.
Yeah.
I understand the passion, but let's keep it respectful because apart from being family, we're elders that respect, okay? We lost a caller, but we understand the passion to which you speak. I have a friend desperately trying to get. He says he's gone, so if he's still out there trying, that'd be great. We go back to the phone lines. Caller, you're welcome to Voices. You're live.
Okay, one last piece on the lady's information. One of the owner of the estate, where one of the ringleaders, so to speak, was captured and hung. He eventually left the island of Antigua, migrated to the U.S., and funded the Harvard University from the proceeds of
plantation?
that sugar estate on Antigua. So here we have the Harvard University was funded by this gentleman. Here we have Lloyd's of London, who had a sugar estate on St. Kitts and one on Montserrat. And this is what CARICOM is speaking about in terms of...
Do you know the location of that?
Reparations and things of companies that are viable, institutions that are viable, that started with the blood, sweat, and tears of our forebearers.
Okay.
In which we today, this generation doesn't have an empathy. We don't have any empathy.
Correct.
What our forebearers, our ancestors once should.
Would you have any information on the location of that estate that was owned by Lloyd's of London?
Not quite. I am doing some research still. I know where our international airport, so Robert Llewellyn Blatter Airport, is today.
Yes.
There was a sugar estate by the name of Golden Rock.
Correct, yes.
Estate. The Needmust Estate. I had a passion to really name some, do some research more into what sugar estate. The one down at Dieppe, Gibbons, Nicholas Gibbons, his family even went on to Barbados and established a sugar estate there. There's a Codrington in Barbados and there's a Codrington in Barbuda. But as for that particular estate on St. Kitts, which the Lloyd's of London or the owners once owned, no. But I can tell you Lambert Estate, Lambert Village, Lambert Estate, it is Jewish in origin. That I can tell you.
Okay.
So the Sephardic or the Sephardic Jews who fled the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal, from the Inquisition, some of them made their way to the Americas, the Caribbean, and established businesses.
Okay.
We know on Nevis there's a Jewish cemetery.
Quite so.
So there are enough evidence that CARICOM with the 10-point plan are building. And there is another. Well, you will be surprised. We would be surprised to know. But it has to start with somewhere with a formal apology for the indigenous people who are no longer here. We will speak for them. There are remnants in Dominica. So we will collectively speak.
Okay.
For apologies with the institutions, government institutions, be it British government institutions or French institutions.
Yeah.
Where there's asking for, the rights being wrong.
Understood.
And the wrongs being right.
The Emancipation Declaration was announced, we're told, at the Golden Rock Plantation. Is that the information?
The Golden Rock
Plantation, that's where they announced the Emancipation Declaration Proclamation.
In 1834 or 1838?
34.
Okay, because the apprenticeship period ran for
4 years.
4 years.
Yep.
Right. Not quite sure. That is interesting. Mr. Stapleton, though, had a book, and he is vast with his knowledge. And so Leonard Stapleton.
I've got a copy of that book.
Yeah, my myself too. I have to educate it, but it's somewhere. And we did the tour with him, the field trip, where we went up to where the French
Chateau.
Yeah.
We saw the dungeon. We saw the trap that lead from the Anglican Church straight up there, etc., etc. But I got to pause now for station ID and a call from our sponsors. A word from our sponsors, that is. So, interesting conversation, and every time I'm on, we get this plethora of information that just works to our benefit. So, we pause for a word from a sponsors. Sorry that you got cut off.
Run to Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store now and get a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. By popular demand, cash back is back, but this time cash back is back with more quality appliances, more great prices and fantastic deals, more of Hosford's fabulous FlexPay payment plan, and more free groceries. a whole year of free groceries. Come to Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store today and get absolutely free groceries with every hire purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year. Great deals on furniture and appliances. Get cash back for free groceries with FlexPay hire purchase and a chance to win free groceries for 1 year with every $500 spent. All great reasons to shop at Hosford's Furniture and Appliances in Ashley Furniture Home Store this coupon season. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details.
King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas, announces king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts. We have the best service and competitive rates on LCL and FCL cargo, including D&E containers, cars, heavy equipment, buses, boats, and barrels from Miami to St. Kitts. LCL pickup service anywhere in the U.S. Call local agents SL Hospital and Company Limited at 869-465-4086 or 869-662-5008 for further details. King Ocean's king-size savings on shipments from Miami to St. Kitts Nevis. King Ocean, king of the Caribbean seas.
Welcome back to Voices, and we go straight to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. You're live on Voices. We lost a caller. Sorry about that. Keep trying, caller. You're live. Well, you're almost live on the program. We're standing by to see if you can get in. Okay, we got about 10 minutes before we wrap up today. So, call again. We have callers trying to get in the program, so we'll see what happens. But yes, we've had caller, you're live on Voices. Good afternoon. You're live on the program. Good afternoon, caller. You're live on Voices.
Yes, Socrates, may go quick.
Okay, sir.
You see the video with the Haitian government assassinated?
Yeah, I saw some clips of stuff like that. Yes.
You know, you get the reason why them assassinated?
No. There been many different rationales put up there.
No. He decided he not accept the vaccine.
I heard that.
Because they might use one the palm coolie root or something like that, and that cure the disease.
Okay.
So if I not take no the vaccine and then get rid of it, you get the point I make?
And now the vaccine's being
and then get rid of it. Look, America go send X amount down there now.
Yes, I saw a news item related.
You get exactly the point that I make. I want devil something. I'm money making.
That's one narrative out there.
Let me tell you something. You then got a slogan say all of us in it together.
Mm-hmm.
That's a one lie. But it sound good because what happened? I was not the world and the disease not the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Socrates, all we cannot be in it together because me and you not on the drawing board. And we don't know what the next move. When me and you in it together, that means me don't have to know your plan. Me don't have to know what the next move.
Okay.
You understand me, sir?
I got your rationale, yes.
The moment you only just give me some little thing to work with.
We're not in it together.
So wash your hand, wear your mask, this. Why them the plan and next move? You don't know what them do. You get the point of me, mate?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds good.
It sounds good. It sounds catchy. All inclusive.
You watch the television and you see people all over the world like that, and you panic. You panic. So because you panic, anything that tell you for the you just go jump and do them. The cowards love the ungodly. You get the point of me now?
I hear you.
All right, okay then.
Obviously, a wonderful one. I can't wait to get in, well, you know, the one-on-one with you. Well, just get me one-on-one with Sister Henry and him in the same debate. Wow. We got about 7 minutes coming down to the bottom of the hour when we have to wrap up today's program. But we'll get some more callers as we speak. Caller, you're live on Voices. Welcome to the program.
Hello, good afternoon,
Good
Sako. How are
afternoon,
you?
how are
How are
you?
you?
I'm okay, wonderful.
At the moment, I want to talk to you. You're more serious, you know.
Impassioned. That's all it is.
Yeah,
What's up?
it's straight up.
Yes.
I like the history of Africa was pulling up.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find out, well, I heard him call another name for Keynes' pasture, being a my title of Keynes from the root. So I wanted to know how Keynes has become Keynes' pasture. My opinion maybe was the manager. No, what I heard first, let me tell you straight up. One of the Keynes' older one told me that. How this African lady came down here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, black, beauty, tall like you, and nice looking. Yeah, and then he saw become the name of the King's pasture. So I was wondering who should they marry to in the estate, or do they own the whole of the there? So can now it's amazing how him say now something different. This person was the ruler for there, and so on. So I would like to know the real truth about it. Africa, if you're hearing me, come on. We ain't on tomorrow, no?
I don't want tomorrow, but you can meet him in the street and dialogue with him because he's got this all information, you know.
Yeah, God, that's his food for thought, and he was pulling up so much more history, so I'm good at tuning late. Okay, you have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Bernice. Thank you for that contribution. And the clock is ticking. We know generally that most of the plantations and the villages were named after the plantocracy, as you mentioned, the Jewish family, Lamberts, etc. books. We know that the Poxon Hospital was donated by Mr. Poxon. I think his name was Edward. And this came out of, the story is that he overheard a pregnant lady giving birth, the groans of a lady giving birth in a cane field. And as a result, he donated the land and the building, actually, on the condition that it stay open and is for the community, which serve from challenges in the east to Bay, etc. There were 50 beds at the time it opened. Currently, it's got something like 30 beds down there, but at the time it opened, it had 50 beds. And the hurricane in 1929, thereabout, Hurricane Janet, did some serious damage to the upper structure. But there was pediatrics, there was the laboratory, there was the morgue, and there was like lots that that the names of the first doctor down there, Dr. Jacobs at one point, and Dr. Hodge. The last resident doctor at the hospital was Macmillan Hodge, the father of Mark Hodge, physician. And so there was some discussion about having another resident doctor because the areas there can have a residency for a on-site doctor, etc. But Poxon Hospital was donated by Edward Poxon, who also owned Bourke's estate and quite a few estates throughout the length and breadth of St. Kitts. So the names, apart from the hospital, there's nothing really named after him. There's no Poxon village, etc., etc. But many of the other villages were named after the plantocracy. We know Challenger's village was named after Mr. Challenger, who donated a substantial amount of land to the former slaves. Some say he rented them. But that's where that village that got his name from. The first, we're told, village that catered to freed slaves. They were given portions of land, and that's where they built. Even though somebody was on the gut side going down to the ocean, that's where you have the first freed slave community in Challenger's village. Dieppe Bay, of course, there was a demarcation line between the French and the English. Dieppe in French means deep. And we take a caller. Caller, you're live on Voices. Good day, caller. You're live on Voices.
Again, just to add to what you're saying there, which is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Middle Island.
Yes.
The name of Middle Island was just reduced to an island, but I was told it was the middle section in which I think which was allotted to the British.
Mm-hmm.
That all of that territory was once the middle section, and then they saw fit to name a village Middle Island. That's what I was told. It was in halfway. See?
Halfway Tree?
Because we do heard about Halfway Tree in Jamaica.
Also.
Also, Old Road. There is another Old Road in somewhere in Antigua. So we can see the correlation as to which island was owned by the British or which island was owned by the French. And we see how the names reverberate throughout the colonies of be it the British or the French and Spanish, but more so we were colonized by both the British and the French.
I think it was my third trip to Barbados where we realized the similarities in the building, the structures, the church, the layout of the villages. It took me a while to realize, hey, this could be St. Kitts.
Yes, Barbados gained prominence, but it was us. Bearing in mind, we were called the British colony because we were first colonized in 1623, and then the genocide occurred, as we were told, in 1626, where both the British and the French combined forces and annihilated, exterminated the indigenous peoples. So we have a long history. We are pivotal, we are center of all that history because we were the victims. So we have to rewrite our story. Until the lion tells its tale, the tale of the hunter will always be glorified. We always hear it from the hunter's side, but they never tell you when the hunter has been cornered by the lion. We are the lion. We are the sleeping giant.
The problem is that we need to know that.
Yes.
That's a question of how many of us know that so we can identify as one, know what we're all about, our history, and know how to move forward. We do not know that. Until then, you don't know history, you're lost.
So true. Solidarity with the indigenous people who were here. Many of them not really live here to tell the tale, but we will speak on their behalf.
Okay.
And us.
Here's a question. You know the phrase in the Bible, must Simon bear the cross alone?
Why are you getting back to that?
Because
we just had a discourse.
I'm gonna take it across to Haiti. Was Haiti bear this cross alone?
No.
From 1791 to present day, Haiti has been alone. Where's CARICOM? We left them alone.
Because that's where it started, and Haiti's pain, Haiti's anguish, sad to say, it's all of us anguish.
Correct.
Yes, all of us anguish, but we don't have any empathy for those who are at distance by water or what.
We are saying...
I'm going to make the connection with us, the living, the deceased, and the unborn. The three worlds must be united so we build the shrines where we worship and call on our God.
Africa. We are at the end of the program. I just want to respond to those who keep saying, why can't Haitians get up and stand on their own? Why should they? We know all the things that compels them not to be able to do so. But we should be the one, we collectively, even CARICOM, should be able to just stand with Haiti. Must Haiti be this cause alone?
Collectively, we must do that because Haiti's downfall
is ours. But here's what. Next week, I'm going to have a guest in studio. We'll be discussing the whole issue of Haiti from back in the day to current time, okay?
Interesting.
So I want to thank all callers, all the many persons made the contributions and made this show quite possible today. I'll be back next Monday, God's willing. In the meantime, stay safe. And here's something to think about. Don't jump on anybody's boat unless you know where it's going. Don't jump on anybody's boat unless you know where it's going. Peace.